Hello, welcome to another memory plan with me. This week I'm memory planning April 6th to the 13th, and I'm using this kit from ScribblePrintsCo, which is called, you know what? I don't know what it's called, but it's a Vegas themed. This week, me and my husband were in Vegas. We went on a road trip, so um, I'm behind 2 weeks of planning. So, yeah, I've kind of jumped ahead and I'm waiting for two kits to come in. Anyway, all that to say that I finally get to use this kit. I've had it for such a long time. I just wasn't sure when I was ever going to go back to Vegas. I've been there 4 times, 3 or 4 times before, so it wasn't really something where I was like, I need to cross this off my bucket list. But my husband's never been, so that's kind of the reason why we just decided to just go. I had a week off of work and we never really do a lot of travel. That's a lie. We do travel, but we just decided spur of the moment kind of thing. We just decided to go. So yeah, we ended up in Vegas. We actually drove too, which was neat because I've been there, like I said, so many times before, but I've never driven. I've always flown. So this was kind of a cool experience. And to see all these different states and pass through like Utah and Arizona and all these things, it was just like, it was really neat, really cool. So yeah, I kind of wish I would have started from the bottom going up because I forgot that her kits come with deco and I could have used deco on the top, but it was too late and I started planning from the top going to the bottom and I ran into the trouble of spacing at the bottom again. So yeah, whatever. It still worked out and it still looks really nice. I really do love how it turned out. Yeah, and then I decided to also pull in a foil this week. I don't know the names of the foil, but this is kind of like a very soft pink sparkle hollow. I don't know. I could be making that up. I don't know. Sorry. But yeah, I barely use foil anymore. I still have some in my collection. I don't know like how many I have, and I have a lot of leftovers. So I was like, I need to start using those because I don't know how long I'm going to be planning for anymore. Like a lot of shops are closing and it seems like people are just giving up planning. So I don't know how long these things are going to be around for. I guess I could learn how to cut and make my own stickers and then I wouldn't really have to worry about it. But anyway, sorry, I'm going on a very long tangent. Um, yeah, so like I said, we went to Vegas. My husband, it was his first time going there. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I might have. I don't know, but I kind of suggested this trip more for him to see it and experience it because I don't know. I was just I kind of feel like it's something like you've been there once or twice, it's exciting, but then after a while it kind of gets redundant. And it's like they do add new things, which I appreciate, but it's still pretty much sort of has the same vibes as last time. So anyway, we did a lot of eating out because there was a lot of fast food chains that I wanted to try. Like, this is the bad thing about being influenced from TikTok or YouTube or whatever. You're just like, you want to try these things. And then I had to go to a Hobby Lobby and a Goodwill to look for books because, like, we don't really have those anywhere around us. It was a whole thing. So we ate a lot of junk, a lot of bad food, and I'm still feeling very bloated from it. And I need to start working out, start watching my eating again because dang, that was a whole trip of just eating bad food. But yummy food and food that we're never really going to eat in the future anytime soon. So there's that. Here I'm putting down the foil bundle glitter headers, and I decided to add. I don't even know what they're called. Are they called the twinkle bits? I don't know what they're called, but they're just like the small little pieces of foil that you add, and I decided to add them to the double box of the New York boxes and also to the flamingo car, and I just love how it turned out. It looks like little stars. It's really cute. I added those offline, not offline, off camera because I have a hard enough time just doing it myself. So I was like, I'm not gonna let you watch me struggle with that. Anyway, getting into the day by day, the first thing on Monday I'm marking is that I slept in, which was really nice because it was like so we actually got to Vegas on the Sunday before, but I don't have the kit for that yet. So all that to say is that I was just like up early all the time. So this was the first day that I actually got to sleep in. And I'm using that little character from Once Upon a Time, Once Upon a Story. I can't remember now. Every Minute a Story. That's what it's called. Every Minute a Story. And then we went to the pool, and I'm using this emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. in a like little donut pool thing. And then we walked up and down the strips. I'm using a like man running from the foil bundle. And then we got Raising Cane's. This is where like some of the junk food comes in. So I'm using a chicken from the foil bundle. And then we went to go see a show. So I'm using this Fat Tuesday sticker from Once More with Love. And that girl in the wine glass is from the deco sheet. And the date is from the foil script bundle. And we did go see a topless burlesque show. I was really excited because I've never seen any kind of show like that. So that was pretty neat for me. And then we walked all the way from like around the MGM area all the way to the Stratosphere. So I don't know if you know how far that is. That is really freaking far. Like we walked that entire thing, drinking our Fat Tuesdays, getting drunk, and yeah, got there in time for the last show. Then we staggered our way back kind of and got a pizza on the way back. It was really great. And then moving on to Tuesday, first thing again, I'm marking that I did sleep in again, and I'm using a emoji from Coffee Monsters Co. in a onesie, and the sleep in script is from the foil bundle. And then we had another pool morning, so I'm using another emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. in another like a flamingo pool. It's so cute. I'm really thankful that my husband loves going to the pool because the last times that I did go to Vegas, I didn't get to spend a lot of time in the pool, and I do love the pool. So that was such a great experience for me too. And then to mark that was so hot because I'm not okay. So here's the thing: we were coming in from Canada, and we were leaving weather behind that was like minus. I think it was like minus 10 or 11 when we left, and in Vegas it was plus 33 or something that day, and it was just intensely hot for us. But anyway, using a munchkin from Once More with Love to mark that, and then we had In-N-Out burger. So I'm using a burger from the foil bundle. And then to mark that, we just walked up and down Fremont Street. Like we took the bus getting there. Like I don't know what that bus is called, but we took the bus and we went to Fremont Street. And I'm using another munchkin from Once More with Love to mark that. And then when we got back to the main Vegas strip, we watched the Bellagio water show. And I'm just using a star from the foil bundle to mark that. And then moving on to Wednesday, first thing I'm marking is that I was up early. This was the day that we were going to start our journey back. So using alarm clock sticker from the foil bundle. And then I don't remember where this map sticker is from, but I used that to mark that we left and headed to Salt Lake City. And somewhere along the way, we tried Panda Express. Never tried it before in my life, and I loved it. It was so good. I'm using that takeout sticker from the foil bundle. I couldn't even tell you which Panda Express we went. We like stopped in all these little towns along the way, and I cannot even remember what they were. So it was one of the towns along the way. And then to mark check-in, I'm using this little geotag from Busy Lizzie Plans, I think it's called. And then to mark that we relaxed in our Airbnb, I'm using this sticker, this icon from the foil bundle. And then to mark that we went to Target, I finally get to use one of these Target run stickers from the foil bundle. Never could before. We don't have any Targets near us, so excited to use that. Plus, just to see a Target, I think this is the second Target I've ever been to in my life. So anyways, there's that. And then with this beer sticker, I'm marking that we went to Chili's. Again, we don't have a Chili's anywhere near us, so another great experience there. And then moving on to Thursday, first thing I'm marking is that I was up early using another alarm clock from the foil bundle. And then I got Dunkin' Donuts coffee, just a coffee. But again, it's one of those things that I hear about all the time, never got to try. It was so delicious. Freaking loved it. I did miss my Tim Hortons. I am going to say that I really did miss Tim Hortons, but this Dunkin' Donuts drink was just divine. And then with this Fox and Cactus Girl, I'm marking that we went to a store called Five Below. I've always heard about this store as well, and I wanted to check it out. It was pretty good. And then to mark that we started our journey on the road, I'm using the car sticker that came with the foil bundle. And then, this is so bad, we ate out so much, but we had to stop at a Sonic's because, again, never tried a Sonic. So using these fries that came with the foil bundle to mark that we tried Sonic's. And then finally made it to Montana. Yes, we made it to Montana this evening, and we went to this mermaid bar that my coworker recommended. It was pretty neat. It was like a really cute little tiki vibe bar, and there was a mermaid swimming in the tank while you're drinking your. It was a whole vibe. And then moving on to Friday, first thing I'm marking is I was up early, and I can't remember. Oh, we were in Great Falls, Montana. So I went to this Hobby Lobby store there. Again, don't have a Hobby Lobby. Found some really good stickers that I could use for planning. So I was super excited about that. And I'm using the bow that came with the foil bundle. And then I also found a Goodwill in the city. Again, don't have a Goodwill in my city. So I found some books there. I actually found the next 2 books in the trilogy that I'm reading. So I was like so happy. I lucked out so good. I lucked out so good. Does that make sense? I don't know if that even makes sense. Anywho, then I went for a coffee, and I just got a coffee from like a local shop, and I can't not remember the name of it. So in my planner, I marked it as Starbucks. It was not a Starbucks. I just couldn't remember the name of it. And then to mark another long drive, I'm using the car icon that came with the foil bundle. And then to mark that we got home using the house icon that came with the foil bundle. My parents were waiting for us in the city because they needed to camp at our house for one night. So that was kind of nice to see them. And it was like pretty late when we got home too. And moving on to Saturday, first thing I'm marking is that I finally got my Tim Hortons that I was missing all week. It ended up being too sweet though, so I had to give it to my husband. I took like maybe 3 gulps of it, and then I just couldn't, so I gave it to my husband. Then we went for breakfast with my parents. So I'm using the eggs and bacon that came with the foil bundle, and then with the heart from the foil bundle, just marking that we had a nice little visit with them before they headed back home. And then I gamed out that day, so I'm using a controller sticker from 3 Years Apart, and the game night sticker is from the foil bundle. And then we did our loads of laundry because we had a lot of laundry. We were gone for an entire week, so I'm using the laundry script that came with the foil bundle, as well as the washer that came with the foil bundle. And then I also missed my planner. I just missed planning, so I had a nice planning session that evening using both those things from the foil bundle, trying to keep up with myself here. Finally, moving on to Sunday, I went to grab myself another Tim Hortons coffee, and I slipped on the ice. I was coming home. I slipped on the ice outside my apartment, and my coffee went flying, and just the entire thing spilled. And I was just upset about it. So, using these munchkins from Once More with Love, marking that my husband was consoling me because I was so sad. So he ended up giving me his coffee from yesterday, the one that was kind of sweet, and I just, once I drank it. We're weirdos. We drink our coffees from we put our coffees in the fridge and save them for a day where they taste fine to us. Then I played Fortnite using a controller from 3 Years Apart. I was feeling kind of bloated, so I'm using this munchkin from Once More with Love. And then I took a bath that evening using those bath scripts and the girl with a towel on her head from the foil bundle. And then I discovered this new game called Tiny Bookshop, which was like a little, it's on oh my gosh, sorry, it's an Xbox game, and you're running a little tiny bookshop. Basically, that's all it is. It's very chill. It's a very cozy game. And the final thing I'm marking is that we played quizzes on YouTube, or we did quizzes from YouTube, just because I was having my Sunday scaries and I was going to return to work the next day. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am completely frazzle-dazzled here, but have a great week. Thank you. Bye.